Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about a company that's kind of been shaking up the optical industry. You've probably heard me talk about them before if you've been a follower of this channel for long. If you've not, check out the other videos. You'll find that. I'll link a card up here to kind of what they're doing that's so different. Today we're going to focus on one model in particular from them, and that is the one I'm wearing actually. So first of all, this is a company, they're a manufacturer in Slovenia, a small little place in Europe between Austria and Germany, kind of there in the mix of things. The company, or the founder of this company and brand, is an engineer and a master optician. So it focuses on ergonomically balancing the frames, so even a heavier frame like this one with a big chunky front and full acetate all the way around is designed to balance really well on the face. So even though you've got a little bit heavier frame, it doesn't wear heavy. You can see, got no real pressure marks there on the nose. You can wear it all day, super comfortable. Of course, even a proper adjustment helps with that. But when the frame is properly balanced, that makes the adjustment easier. The materials they use are top-notch. It's all Italian-based acetates. So they've got a few different manufacturers. You may have heard Mazzucchelli acetate before. They're not the only Italian acetate manufacturer, and they're not the only one this company uses. But kind of the core thing here, I wanted to talk about this model in particular because it's one that's a really nice universal fit. Now, it's a more squared shape, but it's a soft square, so it doesn't really overpower whether you've got a lot of structure in your cheeks or really square jawline. It still works okay with those, and it's particularly because it's a nice statement piece, you don't have to worry about that quite as much. Now, as far as fit and face shapes, that's a whole other thing. Get into that another time. Now, as far as this particular frame I'm wearing, now this was a custom one just for me, and that is right there for that glasses guy. That's me, right? Okay, anyways, so we were kind of talking about cars a little bit, and he pulls a little bit of inspiration from those. We're both gearheads. Maybe that's why I like the company so much. I don't know. That's for you to decide. They're still amazing frames regardless. This one is inspired from the Lamborghini and Porsche green, that really nice bright pop of color. And of course it works well with me with the more red notes and the nice red beard. Anyways, the green pops really well, makes a nice statement, and I mean, come on. It's great. Now, that's not to say that you can't have more than one. You have that one glorious frame. You've got something that's a little bit more subtle but still makes a nice statement. And that's the great thing about this line. So because the Amsterdam, which is this model here, it's a really nice bridge fit that fits a lot of different faces. And again, that's because of the way they've molded these pads on these so you can make it fit for a lot of different situations. Now, I'd say this model in particular is not really good on the Asian side of things, just their bridge design. It doesn't work well for this. But there's some other models that do. Now, with the Amsterdam, again, I mentioned you've got that more square shape, and of course, as all of their frames, the 9 stages of polishing makes a lot of depth and shine in that material itself. So you don't have any burn marks in the frame when it goes through that final hand polishing, which is really nice, and that's unusual to see in mass production. A lot of times you'll get a deep burnished mark in the frame, and what I'm talking about there, these are kind of a good example of this. It shows up on black pretty well, and yeah, so you can see, nope, that's my fingerprints. There you go. You can see you don't get quite that perfect reflection across in those. Now that's another handmade small batch frame, but not quite as much attention on the hand polishing, that final touch at the end. So you can tell it's done a little bit more quickly. They run through it. It doesn't have that perfect disappearing act. And again, fingerprints there. I'm awful today. I'm getting fingerprints on everything. But that's something we see on all the Laibachs. They have that very nice depth and polish, and when they aren't covered in my fingerprints, they look absolutely stunning in the light. And particularly their clear and crystal models like that berry blue I had on a moment ago. You can see there's a ton of reflection and depth. I mean, look, you can see how it picks up even the displays behind it. You can make out the frames, the bar lines just flow through that. It makes for a very, very nice effect even on the face. And in particular, what I mean by that is you still get that pull on these outside edges from the environment. So you get a little bit of a difference in the color as you're walking around outside. And of course that pops in the sun a lot more than it does in this little space. It's just the way it works. And the great thing with those, again, is any of the Laibach York, they do limited releases. So you'll have your stock colors, you'll have some limited edition colors, and they do throw in some one-of-a-kind pieces here and there, which is very unique to them. But they are making a big stir in the optical industry. So that's definitely one I'd recommend checking out, whether you're a customer looking for something new and different that's not a cookie cutter. I don't like cookie cutters. But whether you're a person looking for something like that or an optical looking to bring something in that's a little bit different and a cut above the rest, the build quality is absolutely impeccable on these. They've actually upgraded their hinge machine since this one, and that's on my model, but it is still an incredible fit. You can see there's not really any scarring there in the back of the frame where that hinge is sunk into it. And I believe if I remember correctly, it was telling me those are accurate to 0.05 millimeters on where they insert the hinge in the frame. That combined with that ton of polishing steps is where you get that really almost seamless edge from the frame front to the temple. It's really nice, top-notch stuff. It's one of my favorite models in the collection. We've done some of the others over the next few weeks. I think this is going to be the weekend theme. So we've been doing Varney reviews. Let's play with the Laibach for a little while, something different. Let me know what you guys think. We'll keep this going or not. We'll see. It depends on the views, right? But if there's anything in particular you'd like to see in the meantime, let me know, and we'll get into that in the future. And otherwise, I will see you guys next time.